to my channel that looks at what is real and also what is rewarding. So today I will be discussing, and actually it's a very alarming development that is currently happening in Israel regarding Christians and the promotion of their faith. Now, for you that do not know, the whole country in Israel has been bombarded by a lot of protest, a lot of outrage regarding two legislation that has gone out. The one was the outlawing actually of Christian preaching in the country. Secondly, also that a law has been enacted where the Prime Minister has secured his position, where he cannot be for any reason be removed from his office as it relates to, I would loosely put it, a motion of non-confidence. But let us focus on the outlawing of Christian preaching. Now, in a report about this matter, it says the following. Now, the law would apply to anyone who would attempt to persuade someone to change their religious beliefs. However, the legislation specifically mentions the Christian faith, saying that recently the attempts of missionary groups, mainly Christians, to solicit conversion of religion. Now, that is the reason, because so many missionaries is actually converting other Jewish believing Jews. So this is actually one of the main reasons that this law has been put forth. Now, we see that the solicitation rather, according to the text of the legislation, refers to anyone who solicits a person directly. That means from person to person, when you have a conversation with a person, or digitally, by mail or online, in order to convert his religion. And the punishment for such a solicitation is 1 year imprisonment. Now, the other part is shocking. And if the person was a minor, the punishment would be 2 years of imprisonment. They would go so far as to put a minor in jail for 2 years if he shared his faith. I can't believe this is really happening before our eyes. You see, according to All Israel News, the bill appears to be making it illegal for followers of Jesus, now listen to this, to explain why they believe that Jesus is both Messiah and God, with the hope that Israelis might consider following him. So the whole crux of the matter is that they want actually to counter the fact that people might come to believe that Jesus is the Messiah. So why is this happening? I think two reasons comes to mind. The first, I believe, is that this has all to do with their idea of the Jewish Messiah. Now just look at this clip.
מה שישראל מלאכלמה זה מצוא טקסט כמה עניינים. מה שלא יאות, וגם משהו שעדיין משאיר ריבו. אז הייתה זה משהו במה ידיעתו. הכנראה שהיא מספיק, שהיום כבר כמה שעות בגיל ועדיין ריבו. אבל יש עוד כמה שעות, אבל יש להשתדל גם היום.
Okay, as we can see from the video, that time I think Benjamin Netanyahu was the ambassador to the UN. But now we can clearly see that from very early in the Prime Minister's career, one of the pressing issues was the revealing of the Jewish Messiah. Not only this, but as pointed out by the video, he was also instructed to make something happen in order that this idea that they have of the Messiah, that he can come quickly. Now, Rabbi David Nashon, he's a close friend of the Israeli Prime Minister who witnessed this in this video, this dialogue. Now listen to what he had to say. He will make it through this and he will continue, and I hope he'll be able to hand his keys over to Moshiach, meaning the Messiah. And we'll have the complete and true redemption. Now the other reason I believe might be a very good explanation is that they perhaps believe that they now know who that Jewish Messiah is. Wow! So, who possibly can this figure be? Now this person's name is Rav Shlomo Yehuda. Now in the article it says when he was 18 he began giving regular shiurim, I believe it's meaning it's teaching, in different communities around the country. People from all sectors began to flock to him. He often asked the crowd to pick a subject they want him to speak about, and he's off and running, pulling together all sources from all over, creating a tapestry of light and wisdom, listen to this, for a spellbound audience. Wow! That being said also, some believe him to be a prodigy. He can actually recite the whole Old Testament from memory. Rav Busso said this about him: I've never encountered anyone of his stature. Now, also to be fair, Israel Today, the news outlet, and also some others has debunked the claims of him being recognized as a Jewish Messiah, and states that he is mostly unknown by most of the Jewish prominent circles. Now, this has led me to review this clip. it is still hard to explain the reverence and the admiration the elders have for this specific individual. Whether now Rav Shlomo is a possible candidate or not, the recent Israeli legislation certainly seems very aggressive and almost out of character with their long-standing Christian alliance from around actually the world. Now, the significance of this development is for me very, very coincidental and quite interesting, that all of this is transpiring or is happening just before a very important Christian celebration, which is commonly known as Palm Sunday. You see, the words of Jesus is still echoing again when he entered Jerusalem 2,000 years ago on a donkey, when he said this when he entered. And when he drew near and saw the city, he wept over it, saying, "Would that you, even you, had known on this day for the things that make for peace, but now they are hidden from your eyes." Luke 19:41-42. Now, Israel, again, as in the days of Jesus Christ, denies and rejects the very person they so earnestly and eagerly long for. The sad part of this is that they are about to continue an old prophecy that Jesus warns actually them about. "Oh, Jerusalem, Jerusalem, the city that kills the prophets and stones those who are sent to it. How often would I have gathered your children together as a hen gathers a brood under her wings, and you were not willing." Again, we find that Israel is not willing, not wanting to accept Jesus Christ as their Messiah. Again, not willing to be open to the possibility that the Messiah has already come. Again, they are not willing even to allow Christians to preach the gospel, communicate their faith from the Bible, from the Old Testament, about who Jesus is, what he has come to do, and what he has accomplished on the cross of Calvary. The legislation has been currently halted, but fortunately, in a tweet, Prime Minister Netanyahu has placed this outrageous law on hold for now. My only problem with it is that it is on hold, not removed, not retracted. You see, this also points to the direction in which Israel most likely is going in to the future. And this direction is, for us as Christians, pointing to concerning times of not only our belief in Israel, but across the world, of a global persecution on the Christian faith and their preaching about the Christian message also. So what can we do? I believe we can do, number one, we can pray for the peace and security of Jerusalem, especially as it relates to the unsettling news that has transpired this week. Secondly, let's try to preach and proclaim the gospel as much and as often as we can. Who knows how much time we really have left to do this in freedom. Thirdly, I would say that we can pray for the true church of Christ to be strong and steadfast in the face of danger and persecution. You see, when I've read this piece of news, I was just reminded about the words of Jesus before he was crucified to the disciples. He said that, "I've said all these things to you to keep you from falling away. They will put you out of the synagogues. Indeed, the hour is coming when whoever kills you will think he is offering service to God. And they will do these things because they have not known the Father nor me. But I've said these things to you, that when the hour comes, you may remember that I told them to you." John 16:1-4. Thing is that we can trust the Lord actually on what he said in the Bible and his word. You see, in the last day, Jesus says, the first thing, as a first sign to the disciples, beware of false Christ and see to it that you are not being deceived, because they will work wonders and miracles in the last days. Yes, this part of information again actually points to the return of Christ's second coming. It also points to how the stage is really being set
as we see prophecy being unfolding before our eyes.
So please write me a comment that I might hear your thoughts on the matter, what you are thinking about the whole situation. And yeah, thank you guys. Please subscribe and click the notification bell for more of this. And thank you for watching Vanity versus Reality.